right. I'm just so excited. This has been phenomenal. So, next in the building, we've got two more guests for today. We have got a phenomenal New York Times best-selling author named Brad Thor, who is going to be joining us next. And then right after Brad, we're going to finish out with a gentleman named Jamel Simon. Jamel plays my son on our new Netflix series, The Upshaws. And when you see him, you're going to be like, huh? She doesn't look old enough to have him as a son. I'm not, but we're going to get into that when Jamel comes on. But he's also into fitness. He's a model. He's an actor, and he's really super cool. So, Brad Thor, are you in the room? Yes, you are. Hey, now. Brad has he's got a new novel coming out, and he has written one of my favorite all-time characters called Scott Harvath. Oh, hello.
Hi, Kim. Good to see you.
It's so great to see you. How you doing?
I'm doing great. This has been so much fun to watch. You've had some great guests.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for being a part of it. This is our launch. This is our very first time that we have done a awesome dude chat. So
Wow.
you are a part of the launch, and I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you.
I'm honored. It's great to be with you.
Yeah. So Brad and I actually reached out on Twitter a couple of years ago, it must be now, because I was such a huge fan of his novels and his character, Scott Harvath. And then we quickly just developed a really great friendship. But when I was pulling up the pictures, as you saw from the post I put out today, I have pictures with Leslie, I have pictures with Jamel. I don't know where my picture is with Boris and Nicole. And I was like, how do I not have a picture with Brad Thor? And I'm like, oh, because we've never met.
Not in person, no.
Not in person. So hello, it is so great to spend some time with you. Please thank the missus for me and everybody.
I will.
Yes, indeed. So I wanted to touch base with you because of the style of novels that you write that have so much military backdrop. That really, Scott Harvath is military. I mean, he's a SEAL and polar SEAL and I know my Harvath. Okay.
You do, boy, do you. You're making me smile so big. I keep popping out my AirPod.
And so,
like a big piece of Alabama chrome to keep them in.
And so, in looking at that as it relates to men's health, the connection in terms of military training and health and wellness as it relates to having a certain level of fitness. How do you feel that that's maybe more of whether it's an ideal, is it something that is attainable or not attainable? Is it how I would imagine, if I were a dude, that it's inspiring from the standpoint of, well, I'm not in the military, but it's a certain level discipline. It's a certain level of discipline. Can you talk to us about that, please, and tell us about the new book?
Oh, yeah. So the stuff I do has got SEALs, it's got spies, all that kind of fun stuff. It's the whole Clancy, Jason Bourne, all of that. My job is to give you just a great, fun thrill ride. And what I love to do,
brother, you do.
Well, thank you. I love to take you right up to the edge of what these men and women do in the real world, let you peer over the hedges and get a taste of it. But discipline really is the biggest factor in what they do, and it all comes from up here. Because if you have control over your mind, you can do anything you want with your body. So it's not the working out, it's not the running, it's not the shooting. That stuff's not hard. What's hard is what happens up here, is that mental discipline, that mental toughness. And so I've been lucky enough to spend a lot of time with members of the military, law enforcement, the intelligence community, and they all have that in common, that mental toughness. And it's contagious. When you're around these people and you see what good care they take of themselves, they set the bar, and it's an inspiration. I turned 50 last summer, and
that's right. We talked about that. Yeah, we both did.
We did. And I'll tell you, a friend of mine had recommended a book, and my doc had recommended a book, and I'm like, all right, you guys are just slamming on me. And I bought this, and it's called Younger Next Year. And it is a fantastic book. And the idea behind the book is that if you get fit in middle age and you stay committed to it, you can keep that level of fitness all the way into your, it's amazing. And as Boris was talking about, when he talked about seeing the Holy Spirit in his children and in himself, your health is a gift. And to not want to preserve that and to make that better is, it's really an insult to the person who gave you that gift of good health. You know, motion is medicine. Even if you're not somebody who is in perfect tip-top health or shape, just getting moving, as Boris said, is the thing to do. So for me, with all the military people and seeing how hard they press themselves, it inspired me to become as disciplined and as active as I can. And I work out 6 days a week, and I take that 7th day off.
All that. You ain't got to say all that, Brad Thor. Don't nobody need to hear that. That's exactly what somebody said. That's a good 50 right there. Talking about Brad Thor. Yeah, that's a good looking 50 right there.
Thank you.
You're right. Go ahead on with your working out self. What? I'm listening.
Oh, no, it's for me, what it becomes is it becomes a lifestyle, right? So if you commit to it, you do it enough times, it becomes a habit. And that's the hardest part, is the beginning and committing to something that you can turn into a habit.
Yes.
So reading that book, Younger Next Year, it talked about the fact that there are certain compounds in your body that when you sit on the couch just watching even a great show on Netflix like yours, if you sit there, there's always these compounds that are being released that are tearing your body apart. And that if you want to repair that damage and make yourself even stronger, that's why you have to exercise, because that's the get busy living, because you're already busy dying. So if you don't push yourself, it's the nature of how we're built. But I look back, there's a joke on Twitter, and it's the Wilford Brimley milestone. So Wilford Brimley in Cocoon, you know, the diabetes guy you see on the TV commercials all the time. It looks like a walrus with a big mustache. He was like 49 or 50 when he did that movie, and he looked like he was 80. So the big joke is there's somebody that has a Twitter account that when like Jennifer Aniston gets to 50, they're like, she just hit the Brimley milestone. I look back, like I've got photo albums from my parents where they used to throw these 50-year-old birthday parties for your 50th, and they'd all have black armbands and say Over the Hill and all that kind of stuff. 50 looked like 80 in my parents' age. They'd all gone gray. They didn't take care of themselves. So your health and the quality of your life is absolutely your choice.
That's right. That's right. That's a wonderful way to put it. And you talked about discipline, and it's starting with the mind, you know, and you're absolutely right about that. Can you give us the name of the book one more time? And guys, I will put all the information that any of our guests share, except for Leslie's journals. I will definitely put more information. We'll also have it on our Refresh page and story. But what is it, Brad?
So I always worry about, are people seeing it in reverse, or are they seeing it the correct way with IG? I never know. It's called Younger Next Year.
Younger Next Year.
Younger Next Year. They have a men's version and they have a ladies version.
Okay. Okay.
So it's a fun. As an author, Kim, I loved reading this book. I didn't think I'd have as much fun as I did. It is a doctor from New York, an internist, and the doc's patient. And they switch off every chapter. And they've got a great sense of humor. You can breeze through this so quickly. And I've read tons of exercise books, tons of diet books. This is the first one that I said, I will exercise 6 days a week for the rest of my life. And it's all because of this book. I love all my SEAL friends, all my Delta Force friends. This book changed my life. Younger Next Year. I can't say enough good things about it. Diet, exercise, and it's simple stuff. It's really, really simple stuff. It's not hard. You don't need a personal trainer. I did get an app, which was the big thing for me. I got tired of trying to be a nutritionist. And so I got MyFitnessPal from the App Store. And every day I load whatever food I eat in there. And it's got a barcode scanner. So if I can't find the food in my list of stuff, I can take a picture of the barcode and it instantly puts into the app what the protein is, the carbohydrates, the sugar, the fat. And that has made such a huge difference in my life, not having to food journal everything, which was tedious. I don't have enough time to not have fun. I'm too busy to waste any time not having fun. I want to maximize the fun.
Absolutely. So guys, if you're just joining us, and I don't know where my citronella is, but if you're just joining us, this is Brad Thor. He is my friend. He is an author. He's a New York Times best-selling author of I don't know how many countless books, and I have read every single one of them.
So
he is truly one of my favorite authors. And Scott Harvath is one of his main characters throughout he's got a whole Harvath series, and they are the joint, as we used to say in New York way back in the day. So let me ask you this, because I don't know how you look like that, and you're an author where there's so much sitting down. I would imagine there's so much at the computer. Where it seems like it does not breed an active lifestyle. And you have a fellow author in the building. Her name is Nicole Berman. I love her. She's great.
Oh.
She and I are going to be adapting some of her novels. She's got a wonderful book series. We're going to be adapting some of her novels about royal families into movies. Yeah, I can't direct what you do. I can't produce those, but I can do what she does. I can translate that as a director and as a filmmaker. But for you, when you are, and I'm just looking at this gorgeous room that you're in, like, okay, with the rich espresso woods and the books and just the black and white photography and the wet bar and all of that. I mean, you've got it going on. Yes, Nicole, thank you. She's put in some of your credits in the comments right now.
Oh, thank you, Nicole.
So when you are writing, and and I've spoken to you when you are in, I mean, just you're like, hey,
mode,
when you're in that mode, I've got to deliver this, that, and the other.
Yep.
How do you stay active in such what would seem to be an inactive lifestyle?
Well, there's always an excuse not to work out, right? So I make sure that the first thing I do when I get up in the morning, when my feet hit the floor, they go for my tennis shoes, and I either work out, I got a gym at home, or I go for a run. So it's the first thing of the day. It's like that make your bed thing, because it's the whole setting of accomplishments, and it's the little accomplishments that build bigger ones throughout the day. And I get a rush from it. I get a rush. If I've done it right, I walk away from the workout high. It feels fantastic. I hit the shower and I can't wait to tackle my day. With writing a novel a year, there's a lot of stress. It's a lot of stress. There's always a deadline. No matter what point I am during the year, I'm working within some part, whether it's the marketing and advertising of a new book or the writing of a new book. So the workouts help clear my head. There's something about working out where it's a lot of my good ideas come to me. So I get it done first thing in the morning so that I've made that major achievement. I know I've taken care of myself first, and then I can take care of my business. But my health, the only person who can help me with my health is me. There's nobody else. Nobody can back me up and say, I'm going to write this thing for you. I'm going to help you write the ad copy for your new book. Only I can take care of my body. And so I've got to do that every morning. And I realized there is a lot of sitting in what I do. And I ended up getting one of these standing desks.
Somebody asked about that in the comments. They asked if you use one of those. Yeah, because I know we have a lot of men that are watching or that will be watching, and they may not be authors, but they do spend a lot of time behind a desk, and especially, being in quarantine for a certain extent. So how does that work for you?
Well, I'll tell you, what's interesting is that I flew with the Blue Angels a couple of years ago, and it was a great invitation. I got to fly with them. I loved it. It was so much fun. I only blacked out once, and then I said, I didn't get sick. I said, you got to let me do it again. Do the maneuver harder this time, because I'm going to fight to not black out. And I didn't the second time.
Okay.
But a couple of weeks afterwards, I had a really bad thing in my shoulder. And I was like, this is really messed up. And I mean, it was a lot of pain and everything. I went to see a physical therapist, and the physical therapist said, show me how you write your books. And I said, I got a couch in my office, and I just sit there with my laptop and stuff like this. And she said, that's not going to happen anymore. You're not going to pinch your neck forward to do this. She goes, I actually don't think you messed yourself up with the Blue Angels flight. I just think that was kind of the last straw that broke the camel's back, and it exacerbated something that was already there. So that I used to fold a pillow behind my head. I didn't like to lay flat. I kind of do this. And she said, "You're just an idiot. It's like round the clock. So you're in poor posture all day when you write." She said, "You've got poor sleep posture." And she said, "The only thing you're doing correctly is exercising." And she said, "If you weren't exercising, I can't imagine how much worse you'd be." So she said, you're not gonna stretch out on your couch and type on your laptop anymore. You need to get a standing desk, and you need to get a better pillow, a nice thin flat pillow. Those two things, Kim, fixed everything. Fixed everything. Nothing. Knock on wood. It's all been good. So that made a difference. Is not only how you exercise your body, but how you carry your body, your posture, and all that kind of stuff, because it's meant to work a certain way. Right. If I drive with two wheels up on the curb and the other two wheels in the street, my car's not going to last very long. Right. It's going to be good for it.
Right. Exactly. Thank you so much for what you were sharing. It really is fantastic. The new book, when does it come out? What can we expect? What's going on with my boy Scott? I love me some Scott Harvath.
Well, you're going to have a secret special advance copy. It's going to be winging its way to you soon, so you'll get to see it before anybody else.
Yeah, man. Oh, and to that end, you guys, when Netflix does drop my new series, The Upshaws, every time you see I play Mike Epps' wife in it, and so every time you see Mike and I in the bedroom, there's a Brad Thor book on my side of the bed on the nightstand. So when you see that, you're going to be like, "Oh, snap, they're friends. That's right. That's what it is." Exactly. So
that is such a kind Easter egg. So thank you for putting that in the show.
Absolutely.
So I tell people, I have a series character, Scott Harvath. You don't have to have read the other books to jump into this one. I've got 20 books total, 19 devoted to Harvath, 1 devoted to my all-female Delta Force team called the Athena Project.
Yes. That's we were talking about motivation. I'm sorry to interrupt you. No. But my motivation is whenever y'all decide to do the Athena Project movie or series or whatever. I know I'm 5 feet tall, but I'll be good and goddamn if I'm not in that movie.
There you go.
I'm going to just put that right on out there. I'm working on my abs now for when that movie happens.
That's good.
Proceed. Go ahead with what you're saying.
Okay. So my new thriller is out July 21st, so just about 4 weeks from this Tuesday coming up. And my main character, again, if you've never read a Brad Thor thriller, you can start with this one. Everything in this guy's life has gone sideways, and he doesn't know if he wants to go on living. And something happens that pulls him out of it and gives him a reason to go on. And not being able to trust anybody, a woman crosses his path, a Norwegian spy, and he ends up hooking up with her, and they solve this big, seemingly impossible task. Somebody has put a bounty on Scott Harvath's head, $100 million, the largest bounty ever placed on anyone in the world. And he's got to reverse it, figure out who did it. She helps him, and her past is just as bad, if not more broken and worse than his. And I joke around, it's like dropping 2 coffee cups on the floor in the kitchen and trying to put the pieces back together, and you actually, with their broken pieces, you get a better cup out of this. And I think men and women alike are going to love, love, love the way these two come together in this thriller.
Now,
Near Dark.
Near Dark is the name of it. Near
called.
Dark. And I am going to believe, I won't bring God into this, but I'm just going to believe that she is Norwegian with some black in her.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Sure. Absolutely. You're making me pop my AirPod out again. It's making me smile. I'm just going to hold it here.
Just hold it there. When you are, last question, because we do have Jamel in the house. He is about to jump on. But first of all, this is not going to be your last encounter with Refresh and us being able to share like this. But when you are on your book tours, and I know that the majority of your demographic is male, I would assume.
It's about 2/3 male and 1/3 female is what we see.
Right, got you. Yeah. Okay. So do do you like, what kind of advice would you give? Oh, I'm so sorry. What kind of advice would you give in terms of, again, taking care of yourself in a way that's sustainable? You know, right now, this kind of, you know, do it now and kind of quick results, that's not sustainable, right?
I don't think it is. I think Boris was right about baby steps. So motion is lotion, motion is medicine. You really do need to start small and build good habits. Commit to it. Find an ideal. Find somebody. I have found that the biggest inspiration for me are people that I meet in my own life who are doing it, who are taking care of themselves. So start small. That's how lasting habits are built, is by starting small. You can do it. You can lose that weight. You can get yourself healthy. It's just start small. Don't expect it overnight, because diets don't work and fad exercises don't work. It's a lifestyle change. You have to change your life. It's not changing your eating or changing your exercise. It's changing your life. You get to start a new life, one little step at a time.
Yeah, that style of life, guys. It's a style of life. That to me is lifestyle. So thank you so much, Brad. I really appreciate you. Near Dark is the new book that will be coming out. I'm sure you can pre-order. We'll have links. We'll have everything. All good to go. IG is telling me that I'm going to get kicked off. Mwah. Thank you so much, my friend.
Bye.
Bye, guys. I mean, not bye, guys, but bye, Brad. Bye. So IG is telling me they're going to kick me off, but don't go anywhere, because we've got Jamel Simon coming up next. He and I work together on the Upshaws, our new Netflix series. So I'm going to reset, post this. Jamel, stand by. Thanks, guys.